friend, it's me, Bradley G. Welcome to Synergy Cafe. We had some slight technical difficulties, but we're past that. And I found my friend George out on the internet abyss. So he's in the green room right now enjoying some of our digital hors d'oeuvres. And let me go get him and we'll get right into it and we'll catch up. So hang on a sec. Let me go get George here. There you are. Hey, George.
Hey, how you doing, Brad?
Doing good. Welcome.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy with all this technology, all the buttons and codes and passwords.
I know. You remember when you just lifted up the phone and stuck it up to your ear?
How about when you just turn something on with a little switch?
Yeah.
Turn it on and off.
Or they knocked on your door and you opened it up?
Yeah.
The good old days. I'm 67, so I can relate to the...
Oh, my God. I'm jealous. You're a baby.
You know how that works?
I got you by 10 years.
Oh, my God. Well, no wonder you couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's it. I'm not only old, but old school. So, hey, listen, when I went to college, I started college, I had a slide rule. Sure. When I went to class to calculate things. They didn't. Texas Instruments came out with a calculator finally, but we had to do it the old-fashioned way.
That fancy calculator with all the buttons on it.
Yeah.
You had a TI one. Yeah. I remember those too. Now they don't even know how to use calculators.
No, they can't even, they can't even print their name.
I know. I think it's happening to me too. I take the easy way out of stuff, which is, we can kind of segue into what we're going to talk about here now too. And that's the, let me see if I got the little thumbnail of you. That's you. Expert in business and social networking. I was telling people that I don't like the word networking because it reminds me of like an office computers all networked together. You'd bring in a network engineer and you'd figure out how to hook up all the wires so all the computers would talk to each other. So that makes me feel like an electron instead of a human being. I like that you use the word social.
Yeah, well, everybody has different words today. Words have different meanings, like what is it? A garbage man is a sanitation engineer?
Yeah.
I don't know. Call it whatever you want, whatever makes sense.
Yeah, but the basic essence of it, networking is people meeting people, right?
Well, my phraseology is that I connect people, places, and projects, and you can get anything in life by using your network. And of course, your network equals your net worth. So the higher level your network is, the better possibilities and opportunities that you have.
Yeah, Harvey McKay used to say his Rolodex.
Yeah, exactly. The Rolodex. How about, I got one even better. How about the little black book?
Yeah, you carry it in your pocket and you got to
write down their name and address in this. If you lost that book, you are in big trouble.
Yeah. So you're down in Florida, right? Am I correct?
I'm in Boca Raton, Florida, sunny South Florida, with too many cars on the road and too many people down here, all congested right by the beach.
Well, that's because you got that little strip. You can either go in the ocean one way or the other, but you got to take the highway. I get it. It gets kind of crowded. I've only been down there a couple of times, but I got some friends down there and they talk about the congestion. It's like a clogged artery.
Yep, you got that right. Well, and next time you come to town, look me up and I'll give you a grand tour.
Okay. So with your training, your networking and things, do you work in any specific industry like real estate or hospitality, or is it across the board?
Well, mine's very broad scoped because I talk about social networking and business networking because I've got 50 some years under my belt. I was in corporate. I've been in network marketing. I've been in direct sales. I've been involved in helping people raise funds, creating relationships. And then I morphed into, from 1985 to 1992, my wife and I had the largest singles network in South Florida. It was called the Find a Mate Singles Network. So we basically did social networking. We were connecting people up for dates and mates and relationships.
Sure.
So we did that. So I've had experience in so many aspects of life. So I said to myself, well, why would I focus on just one area? Because I have all this experience and background. So that's why I say that I'm an expert in social and business networking. Sure. And you can get anything you want. You can get employees. You can get a job. You can get customers. You can get finances. You can get find out certain doctors or professionals that are good to use in your particular area. It's not limited. Once you develop it, first of all, you got to have a network and then start to use your network. That's basically what I teach people how to do, is build the network first. Most people don't have a really good database. And then start using these people, create relationships amongst the people, and then within your own family, because now we're all separated. Everybody's relocated to different parts of the country, and we're not having as big a family. So I teach people how to create a family network.
Okay. Now, when you say family network,
once a month, my family's scattered all around the country. So once a month on Sunday night, we have a Zoom meeting where we all get together, and we even built a family website. It's dubecfamily.com. We post, everybody sends me photos. We post it up on the family website. And then we use social media to do instant communication. So you can still create a family environment of being connected using the digital world.
well, I think that's what a lot of people end up doing. They go to these networking events and they collect a bunch of business cards, and then they put them in their little automated scanner, and then they're in the database, and they get to the bottom, and it's never churned up, and you never find the people that you met a month ago, because you're always finding.
Well, again, I have strategies that I use that probably 99% of the people do not do what I do when I go to networking events. In fact, what I do is when I go to a networking event, see this box?
Sure.
It's kind of crazy looking, right?
Okay.
I walk in. I always dress up with a nice sport coat and kind of a Don Johnson with Miami Vice.
Sure.
That look. That's my look. I don't like the ties, but I don't like to be flip-flops and shorts. But I come in and I walk in with this, and you know what happens? Everybody comes up to me and they ask me, what's in that box? Okay. So I have a conversation piece that everybody wants to know. So that's one thing to do, is create a conversation piece, no matter who you are. I always tell females to wear some kind of weird jewelry. Like I had one gal that would come to networking events. She had little light bulb earrings.
Okay.
And the light bulbs would light up. Well, what happened? Every guy in the place would walk over and talk to her. So, I mean, things like that. It's do you remember back when they had name tags that were scrolling marquees?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those in a while, but there you go. You put that on your jacket or your blouse, and everybody's going to come over and talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember there was a thing I was involved with once, and this woman would always wear a flower. So when you go to the big conference and you look across the room, there's that flower. There's Debbie. That's Debbie right there. I can tell. Yeah. She got her own.
I had another gal that would wear these big hats to events. So as soon as you went to an event, you would pick, her name was Myra. You knew Myra was there because she had one of these big hats on. So, so that, those are just good starters to get things going. But then you got to follow through and follow up. Now, I have one other strategy. You were talking about the business cards, Brad.
Yeah.
Well, I collect business cards too from random people. And then you have the dot cards, you got the virtual cards, you have the QR codes. But when I meet somebody that I think has value, I bring out an old-fashioned clipboard out of my box.
Okay.
I sit there. I say, okay, listen, I really like your product or service, or I like what you're talking about. Okay, can I have your contact information? And they might even say, well, here's my card. I go, no. I don't want your card. I might lose it. I'm going to write your name, your phone number, your email address, and I'm going to make a note of your website or why I like you or what we're going to do. I'm going to call you. I'm going to send you an email. And then when I come home, I have this. This is my worksheet. All the other stuff is just peripheral. I come home, and then that night, I write all this down and put everybody in my database, and I do the follow-up within the next day. And another thing that I do, anybody that's on this clipboard, I take a selfie with me and them.
I was just going to say that. That would,
When I get home that night, I send them that photo. I say, great to meet you, with a smiley face and a thumbs up. And it's a picture of me and them. So I'm making this stronger connection
right.
between us, that they know that I'm serious and that we're going to, do something together. So these are all things that you have to train yourself how to do these things. People aren't going to do this on their own. They just won't do it. It's too much work.
And until it gets to be a habit and it's just the way that you do stuff.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Everybody, all my friends know I'm going to take their photo. I'm going to send them information. That's what I do.
Yeah, I had a friend. I lived in Asheville, North Carolina for a while, and I had a friend that he had so many business cards, and he'd always get like 3 or 4 business cards from each person because he connected them. And he had these big, giant, thick albums. He'd have like 2, 3 of them he'd bring into an event. And he'd have, oh, you're looking for a chiropractor? 1 second. And he'd have everybody, here's a couple of cards. He was just connecting everybody because he knew them personally,
Yeah. Well, okay. Then on a side note, when I get the business cards, I bring them home and I put these people, these are secondary connections. Okay. These aren't primary connections. These are secondary. So I put them into a database in different categories. Like right now, I've got over 5,000 legitimate email addresses, and I have them in categories like single people, people looking for funding, doctors, chiropractors. So then what I do is I send an email to this list and say, hey, I met you at the event. It's great to meet you. I might put a connection to my website. And chances are I'll never hear from these people again, but they heard from me, they met me, and I send them some information and they go into my database and I continue to update them on other material, upcoming events or promote things. And maybe down the road, they'll attend one of the events that I'm promoting to them because I met them previous.
And that's where you can bond the relationship a little better. Hey,
So,
George, is this your website right here?
GeorgeDubec.com is one of my websites. I have a couple of websites, actually.
Yeah, I saw this one here too.
That's my business investment show that I'm on the advisory board. That is to help companies get funded through a TV show platform.
Okay. I just saw that in your when I was researching.
Okay.
Good enough.
Yeah, I've got a lot of projects. I'm developing a reality TV show. I'm involved with a business investment show. I do coaching, training. I wrote 6 books and a workbook. And now I'm thinking about, everybody tells me that I need to do my own podcast because I'm on everybody else's podcast. So I probably do about 4 or 5 podcasts a week. I get invited, and then people invite me and they refer me to their friends who are doing podcasts. There's 1.7 million podcasts.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that something that you're passionate about that you'd want to do? Or maybe you're affecting more people by going on other people's? Because my background's in the event industry and I used to produce events, but there's too many events. So I kind of made a vow that I don't want to create any more events. I'll just participate and promote other people's events.
Actually, that is brilliant because I do the same thing. I piggyback on other people's events. And what I do is I promote their event. I send out an email and I put my picture at the bottom of their flyer. And I say, come to this event and meet up with me, or let's get together at that event. And I put my picture. So a lot of times people think it's my event. It's
right. I think it's a good strategy, and everybody is happy because the event person, they had the producer, they got more people there, and your friends are happy because you invited them there, and you're happy because you got to see your friends again, and it builds that relationship. So I don't think we should be creating more events. I think we should promote the ones that are already there. There's plenty of them.
Exactly, and support your friends. Now I got another quick tip for people.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know how to do this, but I never pay to go to an event. Never pay. Mm-hmm. I will not go to an event if I have to pay. But that being said, I can go to any event, attend the event, stand out in the lobby, and make just as many contacts as if I went to the event. Mm-hmm. Because when people are coming and going, like sometimes I'll go early in the morning before they open up, or I'll come at the end of it when people are leaving, or I'll go at lunchtime when they're out taking a break. And I sit there and I connect with people. They don't know that I didn't pay to come to the event. I just meet them in the lobby, and I call that cherry picking.
Yeah, I used to do a thing like that with the Minneapolis Convention Bureau. Used to do their annual report. So all of the event resources, the planners and the suppliers were up on the second floor of the convention center, and I would go down to the bottom of the escalator with all of my tickets from my expo, and I'd just be handing out the things as it came down the escalator.
Yeah, it's
Guerrilla marketing.
yeah, you just have to figure out how to navigate through the landmines of life.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's always a way. There's always a way.
Yep. Oh, I got another trick that I use.
Okay.
I have one of those neck where you label, like you put your name tag in and you wear it around your neck.
A lanyard.
What do you call it? Like a necklace type thing?
A lanyard.
And so what I do is I made up one with my name and it says press.
Okay.
And sometimes I walk up to the front table and I just show them. I say, it just says press and it has my name on it. And they let me go right in.
Okay. It's getting a little black hat there, George.
So anyway, I'm telling you some little kind of undermining maybe some of these people's events, but
you could write I am on one side, and then you could turn it around. It says impress. I meant to say impress, but I ran out of room.
Hey, another cool thing is I don't like name tags.
I don't either.
I tell people, instead of putting your name on a name tag, put what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I put if once in a while I will put a name tag on and I put ultimate networker. And people, again, they'll always say, what does that mean? Or who are you? Why do you put that on there? What's your name? Again, don't put your name, but put what you do or put a slogan on there. So,
well, that's a pattern interrupt. I mean, it's something unusual. People kind of do a double take and go, what the heck is that?
right. Yeah.
And you have to do that when you got a big crowd of a bunch of people that have two eyes and a mouth and a nose and ears. You got to do something different.
Well, and that's one other strategy. I always tell people when you go to these events, you should only have to be there no more than an hour or two. If you're there longer than that, you're wasting your time and you're draining your energy. You need to go there focused. Pick your targets. Go after specific people. And if you fill this clipboard with 2 to 4 names, you're good. Because it's so hard to follow up. What are you going to follow up with 15 business cards? It's impossible. You're not going to do it. If you got 1, 2, or 3 or 4 good primary contacts, that's all you need. Go home.
I agree. It's quality over quantity. Quality over quantity.
And I got one other tip.
All right.
Every time I go to an event, an expo, a trade show, a networking event, I go and find the host or the promoter. If I don't know them already, I introduce myself and I say, hey, listen, I am the ultimate networker. I'm here to find a specific customer for, let's say, my books. You know anybody here that has got a sales force that would need network training? And so I asked them to make possibly a connection at the event with somebody that they know. So now they're introducing me. So before I even go into the event, I go to the promoter or the host and hopefully see if they can make a connection or introduction for me.
And another way of getting into an event where you don't necessarily have to pay is, and I think it's savvy, is that you volunteer to work the registration table. That way you get to meet everybody that comes in, and when they're all in and registered, then you can pull away from the table and go do your deal.
Yeah, that's another great tip. So again, people, other than just wandering into a networking thing and bouncing around for an hour or two and drinking whatever free drinks there are and eating shrimp out of the shrimp bowl, I mean, you got to go to work. I mean, going to a networking or an expo is you got to think like, I'm going to work. And the sad thing about it, Brad, is I think a lot of people in sales or business, they think of a networking event as like it's like a social thing. Like, oh man, I worked all day and I'm going to this networking thing. And they go there.
Used to be that thing up here. They used to call them after fives, and they were like after was like a happy hour kind of thing. Unwind.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, if that's your objective, that's fine. But if
Right.
you're going there to get leads for business, I mean, don't have that attitude. You're going to work,
Yeah, and you should pick and choose your events because there's plenty of them to go to, and make sure you go to the one that's going to be prosperous for you, for sure, for sure.
Exactly right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where do you live?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay, well, down here in South Florida, they must have an event every morning, every lunch hour, every after hour, and then in the evenings. There's events going on every day, pretty much.
You go to any hotel, check out the lobby, look at the schedule. There's something happening every single day.
Things are happening everywhere. So there's no lack of places to go to network.
That's correct. You can network at your church or even the grocery store.
Right. And that, that's another good point, is people have to learn how to have casual conversation. You have to learn how to talk to anybody anywhere, like in a grocery line. You can look over at somebody and say, "Hey, I see that you're buying that kind of brand of whatever." Say, "Do you like that? What do you think?" You can strike up conversations anywhere about anything.
You
All you have to do is ask questions.
You seem like an
That's the way to do it.
Person. You're an extrovert. Well,
so,
George,
the thing is, that's also a good point. Extrovert, anybody can be trained to be an extrovert.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a couple of crutches or techniques and you can get it done.
Yep.
George, I don't do these too long because I keep them kind of short so that people can actually consume them rather than sitting for a 4-hour marathon with Joe Rogan.
Good point.
So is there anything else that you want to plug or anything that might be on your website? You got
I'll tell you what, if anybody wants to write in, I'll do a giveaway. My book is called How to Become an Ultimate Networker, 5 Easy Steps. So if they go to the website, it's theultimatenetworker.com. If they go to that website and sign up for my email address.
Can you get access to that one from this one?
No, not on that one.
They can just contact you here and ask for it.
Okay. The website is theultimatenetworker.com. If they go and sign up to get on my mailing list, I'll send them a free copy, a PDF copy of my book.
All righty. Well, George, thanks for the tips. This was kind of fun. We had a little bit of a challenge getting online, but we actually managed it. And I guess we got it out there. We did it.
All right, man. It was a lot of fun. And, you and I are kind of the same wavelength. We came from that same era, which is pretty cool. And I enjoyed being on your show.
Well, I'll pop you into the green room and feel free to enjoy some of those digital hors d'oeuvres that are very low cal in there if you got any health weight issues. Okay. Thanks, George.
All right. Thanks.
There you have it. Our friend George, last name Dubec. And if you want to know more about how to get hold of him, here's his personal website right there. And let me show you the little graphic so you can see what it all looks like. There it is, George Dubec, expert in business and social networking. It's all about the people, isn't it? So there you go. That's all I've got for you. So you enjoy the rest of your day. Be good, be kind, be nice. Did I say be nice? I did. Be nice. See ya.